Right, we're 6 days away from the Kentucky Derby. We're going to handicap this race now. We'll give our betting strategy after we're done handicapping it. We're going to start with Citizen Bull. We'll go horse by horse here. We're starting with a rail Citizen Bull, the 2-year-old champion for Bob Baffert, Martin Garcia. Bob Baffert's won the Kentucky Derby wire to wire 3 different times. I believe it was War Emblem was the first time. Authentic and Medina Spirit. Medina Spirit counted for betting purposes, but was eventually disqualified. So 2.5 times, you could say, one wire to wire. But Citizen Bull from the rail. Baffert's got 2 speeds in this race, the 1 and the 4, and he's going to send them both out of there. He said so much, too, in his interviews. And both of them need to be loose on the lead through like 23 and 47 to have a shot. I mean, it's if you remember the Medina Spirit year, Medina Spirit was 12-1 in the race. I didn't bet him at 12-1. Then I saw a 23.09 to the first quarter with no pressure, won the race to the first turn, 46.70 for a half. The only horse that was even near him was Soup and Sandwich, and no one was pressing him. After that first half mile, if I could have got 5-2 on Medina Spirit after that first half mile, I would have unloaded on him at 5-2 after not taking him at 12-1. And that's what's got to happen with Citizen Bull. Classic speed horse with a puncher's chance, has to win the race to the first turn, make the lead, an uncontested lead, but not going faster than 23 and about 47 to the half. That's just not likely. I mean, if somehow that happens, he's got a legit shot to win. And that's the only way he can win. He's got to win the race to the first turn, got to make the lead without pressure, needs 23, needs 47. If he gets that, huge contender to win. I just don't see how he gets that. So he is a horse with a puncher's chance, but I'm throwing him off my ticket. Too much has to go right, and it doesn't look like it's going to go right. And he will be off the board if he's doesn't make the early lead. If this horse is behind horses and it's a real fast first quarter, like it looks like it should be, there's just no race he has that puts him on the board. So he's a horse I'm going to be throwing off my tickets, but, in the unlikely event that he's loose on the lead through 23.47, I'm going to be cursing. Number 2, Neoequos, another speed horse, and he's kind of wedged in between the two Bafferts that are, Baffert was a quarter horse trainer. His horses leave the gate. He likes it when the riders send him away from there, too. So Neoequos is got to get the lead in this race, or else it's going to go very bad for him. And I just don't see him making the lead. If he does make the lead, he's going to have to make it. He's going to have to work real, real hard to do it. Neoequos is going to be a throwout on all my tickets. I don't see him getting any piece of this. Final Gambit, the 3. This is another horse going to be a throwout on all my tickets. Not this time. Very good synthetic sire. Very good. He was a good dirt horse, and he's a pretty okay dirt sire, too. The dam of this horse was all grass. The horse jumped up in the Jack Ruby Stakes on the Tapeta Turfway. They went really fast early, and the race melted down. They say this horse is training well at Churchill, but the dam was a grass horse. A lot of European grass horses in the female family. Good synthetic sire. This horse will take a little bit of surprising money because he's the only Brad Cox horse in the race, and they like to bet them Brad Cox horses at in Kentucky, and this horse is just not for me. He's a complete throwout on all my tickets. I just don't believe he'll handle the surface, and if he does, it won't matter anyway, in my opinion. Maybe he'll shock me, but he is a complete throwout for me. Rodriguez, number 4. Another one. He's got a puncher's chance. A puncher's chance, meaning that, in combat sports, he's got a punch, but he's got to land it. And the way he lands his punch, gets to the lead, 23 and 47, just like the one horse. Can he win the race to the first turn? Can he do it without going faster than 23 and 46? If he goes 46.70, that's fine. But if he goes 23, 46.70, and wins the race to the first turn, isn't getting pressed, I'll be cursing because he's going to be a huge, huge, huge factor and probably win the race if that happens. But the odds of that happening, I just think are extremely, extremely unlikely. So he's he is going to be a throwout for me. But if things go just right for him, I'll be in a lot of trouble throwing him out. But I just don't see how he gets his trip here, and he can't do it from behind horses. I mean, you look at the San Felipe. Journalism buried him. Barnes, they let Barnes have the lead real easy in that race, and he couldn't stay with Barnes through the stretch run. The Bob Lewis, when they let Citizen Bull go and they settled him behind Citizen Bull, couldn't stay with. He's got to get the lead. He needs 23:47 without pressure. If he gets that, Katie bar the doors. He's going to be probably your winner, but I just don't see how he gets that. So he's a throwout for me. I see him behind horses taking dirt and running off the ticket. American Promise. This race here come from out of nowhere in the Virginia Derby. He sat off John Hancock fast, 45-1, drew off and win by 8. Where's he been the last 50 days? This is unusual for Lucas. Lucas, he hasn't been, this isn't a health thing. He's put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workouts, 5 breezes since his last race. Lucas loves to just run him. I mean, this is a complete change of, complete philosophical change from what Lucas usually does. I mean, but he got the points in the Virginia Derby, and he's training him into the race. And this horse doesn't necessarily have to have the lead, but he needs that clear stalk. What he needs is for someone like an the 2 Baffert horses did not break and not show speed, and a horse like East Avenue to go only 23-47, and he's outside stalking him, and he could outstay East Avenue going 1.25 miles. Very, very unlikely scenario, but it is a scenario that is maybe like a 2% chance of happening, and if that 2% chance occurs, he's got about a 50% chance to win the race from there. So, I mean, it's just too many things have to go right. And, if he's not stalking a relatively easy pace, when you look at Lucas's record, the last year at Churchill, he's just 1 for 85 at Churchill. So, American Promise, he does have a slight puncher's chance if everything goes right, but it just, what's the likelihood of things even going right? And then if it does, to me, he's a throwout. 6 is a Meyer Daytona, a Japanese horse. He missed the break here in this race against Luxor Cafe, didn't break well. They put blinkers on him last time, I thought, although it's not showing up here. But he won the UAE Derby on the front end. To me, this horse is a throwout, but he could be an interesting pace factor. Japanese horses, they like to send him away from the gates, and he did make the lead in the UAE Derby, but I just don't think he's anywhere near as fast as, the 2 Baffert horses to the inside, and certainly can't be as quick early as East Avenue. Or even Owen Almighty, not as quick as him. So, Meyer Daytona's a toss for me. He's not going to be on any of my tickets. Luxor Cafe, if this race was run going 1.25 miles at Nakayama in Japan, he'd be a real strong contender for me. His 2 Nakayama races at 1.125 miles were really impressive races to watch. This race here in Tokyo, though, 2 back, this race gave me some pause because the second place finisher was a filly named Promise Jean who missed the break, and I thought ran the best race of anyone in that race. Meyer Daytona was 4th in this race, and he also missed the break too. So the 2 horses that didn't break well in the race ran a good 2nd and a good 4th. Now the 4th place horse come back and upset the UAE Derby, and maybe this filly here, Promise Jean, is like some Japanese wonder filly that could win the Oaks if she was in it. Who knows? I think that's unlikely. But she's only run 3 times. She had 2 impressive wins, and then this was her only defeat in this race. But she was better than Luxor Cafe that day, in my opinion. So the Japanese have had 2 pretty interesting horses the last 2 years. They just missed last year. They were in a 3-way photo for the win, and 2 years ago, Derma Sotogake had that incredible performance in the UAE Derby, and he looked like a major Derby contender for me. Now, he missed the break. He finished 6th. He probably run as good as anyone in the Kentucky Derby, really, considering his running style and completely missing the break and still running 6th. And he was off like 7 months and come back and run second in the Breeders' Cup Classic his next start. But I don't think Luxor Cafe has as good a chance as, their horses from the last 2 years they've sent over. Although his races at Nakayama were very impressive, to me, he's a marginal contender. Journalism, the 8, rock solid. The only concern I have with him is I heard the Connections interview. They think they're going to be on the first flight in this race. They're not going to be on the first flight. There's a lot of speed in here. They've been in these 5-horse fields. He breaks the gates well. But these paces have not been quick. He's in like these 5-horse fields where there's like 2 Baffert horses and 2 Sheriff's horses, and they've been soft front ends. The only concern I have with journalism is that Rispoli's going to find him back further than he expects. And, rather than keeping him comfortable, keeping in rhythm, he might want to use him a little too much early because he thinks he needs to be closer and he thinks he should be closer. I think that could flatten him out late. I think they just need to, if he's 10, 12 lengths off the pace, if he's back in like 9th or 10th early, 10, 12 lengths off the pace, that is perfectly fine as long as he's comfortable. But just on paper, I mean, this horse is 4 for 4 in his 2-turn routes, and they were all real impressive performances. He's going forward, training well. Journalism, extremely legit content. I mean, even at 3-1, he's okay at that price. I mean, he's a rock solid horse. Burnham Square, he's a horse with a shot to get underneath on the ticket maybe, but nothing more than that. Won the Bluegrass last time. They went 46-4. He's going to get a similar setup as he did in the Bluegrass. The Fatima Youth was a disappointing race. They made him 9-5, but he was back further than Sovereignty earlier. He has 6-horse field, and he was wider on both turns than Sovereignty, and was, I think, 3-5 wide at Gulfstream, behind Sovereignty. I think he's a little quicker early than he showed in that race, at least. I mean, Burnham Square is a good horse to use underneath. I could see him running 3rd and 4th, but he's not a whole lot of price, and not a win contender for me. Grande is a horse I wanted to on paper. I'm like, this horse got to be a throwout, but you watch his races, and I mean, this horse has never seen the rail on a turn. He opens up at he goes off at 9-1 in his debut. It wasn't like there was some other hot Pletcher horse in there. This is a Pletcher first timer at a mile, 9-1. So I mean, for Pletcher to debut him at a mile and for him to not take money, tells me he wasn't showing a ton of zip in the morning. And but this was a good debut. His second race, a good race. I mean, and then the Wood Memorial, he ran about 1.25 miles in the Wood Memorial. He was 5 wide on the first turn. He was outside on the second turn. Run a nice race to be second. He's sneaky for a piece. I always try to throw Pletcher horses out at Churchill Downs. I like Pletcher at Gulfstream, but when these horses in the winter get to Churchill, they're historically bad bets. I mean, if you go by Pletcher's record at Churchill over the last 20 years, his ROI is not very good, but This is a sneaky horse. Doesn't need to be on the lead. He's one of the few that's got like a little bit of a puncher's chance from in back of the speed. But he's going to need a lot of things to go right. He's going to need a good clean break. He's going to need to like relax just behind the duel, and he's going to be on some of my exotic tickets. The 11 Flying Mohawk is a complete toss for me. His dam only run once on his dam only run once on dirt and got beat 52 lengths. So I mean, the dam's only dirt race was beaten 52 lengths. The sire was a grass horse. He's done nothing but run on grass and synthetic. Could be a useful grass and synthetic horse, but he's got no shot in there. He's just not a dirt horse, in my opinion. And even if he is, even if he handles it okay, he's still got no shot. East Avenue, the 12, he's got to go. I mean, he's got to go to the lead. Look what happens when he doesn't have the lead. Breeders' Cup Juvenile stumbled badly at the start, was behind horses. Here, he let Magnitude go and tried to stalk and just backed up through the pack. He's got one way of going, got to go to the front. And this horse is going to be a pain in the ass for the Baffert horses because I think he's naturally quicker than Baffert's two horses, and he can't be rated. You just got to go with him. Does he have a puncher's chance? I wouldn't even say that. He's borderline puncher's chance and borderline complete throwout. He will be a throwout for me, but he's got to get loose on the lead and run the race of his life. I just don't see it. Right, the number 13 Publisher, still a maiden. Wouldn't that be something, breaking your maiden in the Kentucky Derby? He ran second in the Arkansas Derby last time behind that supersonic 45-1. The Rebel was another race where they went way too fast early, plugged in fourth. Now, he's training sneaky well. It's this April 19th work here. He actually outworked his Tisttastic April 19th. He's getting Irad Ortiz, so they might take some money. I can't see him doing anything more than maybe just plugging up into like fourth, like third or fourth. If they go insanely fast again, like they have in some of his Arkansas races, he's capable, as an improving horse training well to maybe plug into, maybe Irad can squeeze out a fourth place finish or something, but I don't see anything more than that as far as his chances go. The 14 Tisttastic, the other Asmussen horse, they went too fast in the Louisiana Derby. There's a lot of pace in there. He got a great trip and setup. He won it real nice though. His Rebel didn't have the best trip there, but didn't exactly do much. Didn't exactly do much in the Southwest either. I mean, this is another plug-up horse that you might want to put third or fourth in your exotics if they go way, way too fast, and but beyond that, nothing. Render Judgment to me is a complete throwout. He just doesn't have a race. I mean, he was up there with American Promise early in the Virginia Derby, and American Promise left him for dead. He tried to rate mid-pack behind the fast pace in the Bluegrass and was backing up. Risen Star, he got beat 19. I just don't see any race anywhere that puts him on the board. Just a complete throwout to me. All right, now Cold Battle, number 16. The Arkansas Derby, there was that breakaway speed duel where they went crazy fast fractions. It was Speed King and Copernicus out there going way too fast, and Cold Battle was like leading the second division there, basically trying to wire the rest of the horses, and got out finished by the closers in that race. It was like they had two rabbits in front of them. Won the Rebel from off the pace, but they went too fast that day. He's got some grind and some tactical speed, and if you want to put him third or fourth on your tickets, not the craziest horse, because he's going to be a price. He's got to win in the Rebel. He's a 4-race win streak before the Arkansas Derby. Would I be shocked if he's third or fourth? Not really, but he's not going to be on my tickets. 17 Sandman. This is a horse. Watch his break in the Southwest. It says broken and tangle. He just like did it to himself. He like stumbled over him. I mean, it was this horse is green and Arkansas Derby. He makes the lead and ducks out. He ducked out sharply. Almost every race you go through, this horse does something kind of green at some point in a race. Maybe he's going to put it all together in the Kentucky Derby. You wouldn't generally knock a horse that's got, two great setups. They went too fast in the Rebel. They went too fast in the Arkansas Derby. But they're going to go too fast again in the Kentucky Derby, most likely. So the time to play against him might be in the Preakness. It's a solid horse, and he's got a good shot to get on the ticket, but the price 6-1. I mean, that's. I'm just going to hope I could get someone else to plug in on the ticket beside him. Hopefully, he does some more green wacky stuff in the race, and some of these other closers haven't been getting the setups that he has. So he's going to be off my exotic tickets for the most part. And that's really just because of value more so than, him not being a better candidate to get on the ticket than some of them other, a horse like Burnham Square is very similar and he's double the price. So rather put Burnham Square, as a kind of a underneath type horse than him. Sovereignty, to me, there's two strong contenders in the race: Journalism, Sovereignty. I'll be shocked if Journalism and Sovereignty aren't on the ticket. It's going to take a real troubled trip or an injury or them completely not firing. Those are the three things that could only three things that could keep Journalism or Sovereignty off the ticket. And I mean, all three things technically could happen, but I think they're very low percentage to happen. And one thing about Sovereignty, he'll come running. Like he will flat out come running. He didn't get crazy paces in the Fountain of Youth and Florida Derby. And Gulfstream isn't as easy a track for a closer as Churchill is. Mott's got a good record with horses at Churchill, and his horses generally go forward with more starts in them. So I love Sovereignty in this race. I actually think Sovereignty's a huge factor to win. If Journalism's too close to the pace and they're going as hot as they should be going, Sovereignty's got a massive shot to win this race, and he'll be on every ticket of mine, will Sovereignty. 19 Chunk of Gold. I had a big bet on him in the Louisiana Derby, and he was only 3 lengths off a pace that was pretty darn fast. I liked him more coming further, but he put himself there comfortably. Like, he was moving sweetly. It wasn't like, Bad Ride by Loveberry had him too close. It was actually, I thought, I made a big bet on the horse and thought I was getting a great ride because, the horse was comfortable putting himself there, and didn't finish as well as I wanted him to, but he was the only horse that really was near the pace that did any running in the Louisiana Derby. And, I don't think he's good enough to get on the ticket, but would I be shocked if he's like 4th in this race? Maybe 3rd? Wouldn't shock me. I mean, if you're spreading a little bit in supers underneath horse. Owen Almighty, the number 20, it's the biggest throwout in the race. They handed him the race on a platter in the Tampa Bay. 23-4, 48, no pressure. There's all kinds of shadiness going on to try to keep him, loose. The Cox horse is getting floated out to the grandstand. I mean, the Tampa Derby was, just, I won't even go into the Tampa Derby. That was, that was just a lot of nonsense what went on there. And then the Bluegrass, they let East Avenue go. Got a clean stalking trip and backed up. He finished in a dead heat for last. Him and Chancer McPatrick dead heat for last. And so in the Sam Davis, he sat outside of John Hancock and could never push by. Owen Almighty's, I don't even know why we're still talking about him. He's a complete throwout in this race. Not a bad horse. Could be a really nice, middle distance speed horse in the future. But in this race, he's a good candidate to, to finish about 17th. Finally, the 21 Baeza. He's got to draw in. If he draws in, he's a factor, but he's going to have the 20 hole even if he draws in. So we'll see what happens there. But two massively strong contenders in this race. Number 8, Journalism, obviously one of them. Number 18, Sovereignty, obviously the other. 818 till the cows come home on all your exotic tickets. And we're going to try to get someone other than Sandman in for third. You've got Grande, Burnham Square. If you want me to do 1, 2, 3, 4 in this race, I'll put Sovereignty first. Sovereignty winning the race. I hope Journalism's just a little too close to the pace and Sovereignty can come over the top of him in the stretch and catch him, that last eighth. But Sovereignty first, Journalism second, and then it's just about looking for a price to finish third or fourth. And I'll put Burnham Square third, Grande fourth. So our top 4, Sovereignty first, Journalism second, Burnham Square third, Grande fourth. As far as betting the race, we're going to try to get one of these two on the ticket with Journalism and Sovereignty. And that's my handicapping analysis of the race and my betting strategy. Have a nice day, everyone.